got new sheets, so yay. This is Hannah, this is Georgina, et c'est moi. Hi. Basically, this video is just going to be about, motivation and routine and positive habits, because, you know, as someone who just really only is a functional human being and a good person to be around in a positive routine, like consistent routine, I often, you know, find myself out of it, because also, you know, growth doesn't come unless you're like really outside your comfort zone and pushing yourself. So of course being here has really kind of put me outside of that, and every time there is a break for school or anything really, whenever there is one, it's not really time to rest. That's my time to take advantage of the situation that I'm in, to be able to travel and try new things and make sure I'm making the most of my experience, essentially. That does mean that I burn out sometimes and I get really tired and I don't always feel great. So last week I had a huge headache. I had to miss my last class of the day, and I ended up making dinner and going to bed because I felt so horrible. The headache was so horrible, and that was kind of just my body giving out on me. I had been out of my routine. I had been feeling so tired lately because I had been going and going and going. Despite the fact that all of it is so positive, it doesn't mean that you can't burn out or just like feel like you need to be done sometimes. It's just a reality of being busy and trying new things and being excited. And while I do want to give myself grace, I do not want to miss out on anything. So I do, you know, just kind of need to find a new balance. Not necessarily slowing down entirely, but realizing when I need to maybe say no to something in order to care for myself in the right way. So that's kind of what this is. This is me getting back on track and bringing you along for the ride. Yeah, to share it, and like maybe that's useful for somebody somewhere, like cool, great, but also very much so to hold myself accountable. I can talk myself in circles and, you know, like, oh, it's been a long week, I'm tired, there's so much going on, there's been a strike and I had to walk home today, so I don't need to do the extra Pilates. And that's, you know, like sometimes that's true. Sometimes you need to take care of yourself that way. And sometimes I need to stay focused on my goals and my routine, because outside of that, that's when these other things pop up and I start feeling worse. And even in this new environment of trying new food and experiencing things, it's also, you know, remembering the fact that like I am here not just to experience, but like, yes, experience, not just to explore, but also to dance and explore that side of things. And in order to fuel myself the proper way as a dancer and just being someone who participates in something so physical all the time, that does mean that I need to keep track of the things that I'm eating. I need to make sure I'm getting enough protein in my day to have energy to get through, you know, the rest of it and not feel so fatigued. Like, part of the reason I experienced that on Wednesday was because I came home so late from ballet on Tuesday, and I went to that event, of course. I could have, you know, at 9:30, even 10, I could have said, you know, I need to go home. I need to make myself dinner tonight, and I need to make sure I get enough rest because I have school in the morning, and if I'm gonna do my workouts before that, then, you know, now is the time to leave. Granted, it was my first time and it's exciting, but I also learned my lesson. So it's just not a choice I'll be making again. I got home so late that I did not have dinner, and I woke up the next morning like literally heavy. But it's the fact that if I had just said no the night before and left when I needed to and taken care of myself, understanding that I can come back next week and still experience this. So it's just like understanding that and laying down these boundaries. It would have been so fine. So again, it's really about balance, but I'm still taking care of myself the way I need to fuel the things that I do, to take care of myself and my body, which then carries me into the most important thing in my life, which is dance. That's what this is. It's basically just like a little video diary of the experience, and we're just gonna kind of experience it together. Yeah, establishing these patterns. Maybe I can choose one day to like just do some abs and stretch, but it is about doing it every single day. Like, this is not a big space. I cannot stress that enough, and I think some of that is what's putting me off. It can sometimes feel like, oh, it's impossible or whatever, but it's not. Even if I'm not entirely sure, there's a whole internet full of like workouts for your apartment, workouts for a small room. Tomorrow, if I don't want to work out after my ballet class and the language exchange, then that means getting ready for dance early and doing the workouts before I go to dance. I actually didn't remember that. That's a good one. Maybe I should do that. I'll write that down. Yeah, we're gonna do that, and we're really gonna do this. We're really on top of it. Formulating good habits between studying, travel, exercise, and dance. Let's eat it. That's really embarrassing. Okay, let's do this. I am not gonna like film this because the room is small and that's embarrassing, like me trying to find space to even like lengthen my full body. But I just wanted to shoot here on the floor, just so you guys know that I'm doing this for real. Gotta do what you gotta do. So let's do it. Oh, Deborah is reading. Okay, Midnight Sun. We are listening to a podcast. We had breakfast this morning, and then we're just gonna dive into the exercises and get ready for the day. This is day 2 of making good choices, and the real push is gonna be actually after school, doing my laundry, getting the workout in, and I think I'm gonna try to walk to ballet. Actually, I think it could be good for me. Let's see. I slept okay. I had like we're gonna do something about this. What?
That sounds like Barry is.
I need to buy new pants. Okay, we're gonna get some coffee, do some work. It was a nice little workout, pretty medium. I did my stretching. I just kind of realized I misspoke earlier. Like, it's not all just about motivation. It is, and mine has been dwindling, and so it's kind of what I'm working on right now. Like, I'm listening to this podcast, Ballet with Isabella. She's absolutely my favorite. She's kind of what got me going when I broke my leg, and I needed to like reestablish this kind of sense of discipline and motivation and these things. But it varies that, like, she talks about motivation versus discipline, and right now I'm trying to establish both. Both are necessary, but the discipline is what keeps you going when you've lost your motivation, you know, like until it comes back, because that wanes and wanes. Discipline is consistent, it's forever. So that's kind of what we're working on right now, because it really is what you do most of the time, not sometimes, that makes all the difference. You know, sunflowers here. Okay, we're dressed, we're covered up, we're looking how we look, and we are on our way. dressed girl once again, and like that's something the French don't really do, is like lounge wear. But it's supposed to rain today, so like I have these slacks and they're so comfortable and I'm like so not opposed, but it's like they're long. I don't know, I'm like 5'2", 5'3". They touch the floor and so they get wet and then I feel damp and I'm like uncomfortable. And we're gonna go get some coffee. I realized I decided to bring you guys like along throughout my day halfway through this video, just because I feel like it was just a bunch of little chats in the room and it felt a little dry. Let's do that. Let's see the fruits of the labors of these awkward mornings. Why? Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Have to tell this story, you guys, because
Okay, so basically we were walking out and Hannah kind of like makes googly eyes at me and she's like, it kind of looks like Luke from the back of his head.
I was like,
looks like Luke from Emily in Paris. Yeah. And then I get like a side profile of his face. I'm like, oh my fucking god, or can I cuss? Oh my god, it's Luke. And then everybody, I was like kind of following him out of the subway, not really realizing where I was going. I realized I was going the wrong way. And then I like looked back at them. I was like, I'm gonna go ask for a picture. And then I like, we're on the escalator going up, and I tap on his thing. I'm like, excuse me, are you from Emily in Paris? And he was like, yeah. I was like, can I get a picture with you? And he was like, yeah, let's wait till we go up though.
like riding behind him.
I'm like pulling out my phone to take a picture with him. He's in our metro car.
He was in our metro car, dressed exactly as he is in the show, period, okay? And so friendly considering we're just a bunch of Americans who stopped him on the metro.
He asked where we were from and he was like, oh, you're vacationing. And I was like,
No, we're studying. You're stuck with us for a long time.
No, we literally
We are Emily.